feeling
We're gonna do
that I
we're
had.
gonna do a show on emotional on our emotional infidelity
Cause yeah, I was finna
because
get him back. Brother
upon
Devin,
upon
I was
her,
finna get him back.
but she got to admit though she pushed me to emotionally cheat on her.
Now wait a minute now. You ain't finna. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 1 of
Unscripted with Clyde and Tonya.
Got it.
Got it.
Welcome back. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of this. We hope that you're rocking out with us as we talk about unscripted conversation with my honey. So let's just dive in, man. Look.
Yeah, we sit here. No, this is first. I want to do a shout out. I don't ever want to do these podcasts without shouting out, to the one guy who's made this. The one eventually we won't have to shout him out because y'all know who he is. But Devin Simon, he set aside his time, and so if y'all could just put some comments and show him some love. He is our sound tech, audio, video, videographer, everything and above, and so we really do appreciate him. And also we want to shout out Harden Enterprise for their investment. Even though you see Clyde and Tonya here, this was made possible by Harden Enterprise. So if you need your home restored, HE Disaster Restoration,
go ahead, throw it in there, bro.
Our phone number 936-653-4526, option 1. That's called a free plug.
You better go.
But no, so we want to talk to you, right? If you saw our intro, you know that we're all about trying to take you on a journey. We have a lot of lessons. So anytime you hear that chime go off that we're going live, you're going to hear a lesson that we've learned. We are pastors. Pastoring is what we do, but it's not who we are. We business owner is what we do. It's not who we are. We are a man and woman who living through this thing. And so we're going to share with you all those journeys. But today, you want to share with them the topic we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, man, as we was talking, we was like, okay, the very first episode, we definitely got to talk about the journey, not necessarily the journey, because you'll kind of learn us. And if you go to this YouTube channel, there's a lot of videos, multiple videos that you can go through and kind of watch and learn about us. But I will say this with this first episode, we kind of just wanted to talk about the power.
Before you say it, I want to say this here because I want to give it a little bit of a different twist. If you want to know what is a secret to our success,
okay,
the secret to our success in marriage,
okay,
the secret to our success in ministry, the secret to our success
in
money, in business, in parenting, it's only one word. And then you can share it. But I want to know, this is, if you ever want to know how to harden, because I think a lot of people have appreciated our I ain't gonna lie, I hate to say it, it sounds bad, but I got to use it. A lot of people have appreciated our come up, how we came from, where we were homeless to where we are now. And I promise you, and I think the one thing people are missing is this one word, not say it.
Endurance.
Endurance.
I think that's the thing. If we could just start this first podcast off, we got to start it off with the power of endurance. It is, a lot of people see the story, but they don't. I mean, a lot of people see the glory, but they don't know the story of, different people. And we don't mind sharing the story. And the story is not pretty.
No.
It is not cute. But it is a glory that, and I got to put God in it, that if it wasn't for the endurance and really, really trusting God, we would not be here.
No.
Every area of our life, from money, we wanted to walk away. From ministry, we wanted to walk away. Being pastors back in 2000, baby, if we could have walked away and moved to Virginia, we would have. I even found a beautiful place that was in Virginia that we wanted to move to, as well as marriage. Many of times, several times that we wanted to walk away from marriage, but it was learning the power of endurance.
Listen, and I looked at the definition of endurance because I think that's key.
You are such a pastor. You can't help but to be a pastor.
I can't.
Go ahead.
Because I think it's so important, because when people talk about endurance, everything these days have a catchy thing to it, and people use it so freely, like all these different statements that people are using. Even like what's that one y'all talked about with the girls the other day that everybody's doing on TikTok now?
Whoop-de-doo,
right? All that stuff people using, they don't realize the source of it. So the word endurance is cute. Oh, we endured. I almost said the N-word. It's unscripted, but I'm respected.
Right.
But listen, the word endurance by definition is the ability to withstand hardship, stress, pain for a prolonged period, especially despite adverse conditions. I'm going to say again, the ability to withstand hardship, stress, and pain for a prolonged period. And listen, the only reason why you would endure anything is for two reasons. 2 reasons. I think the main reason why you would endure anything is because number one, whenever you started it, you liked it. But number two, you feel in your heart that it's something more to this. You like maybe God said, "Hey, this marriage is for you, and it's going to turn into all this." The reason you do because it's not what you start; it's what you know we're going to come out of it, right?
Right.
And so that's what if that defines everything.
Or you don't know what's going to come out of it, but you really, really trust God because you. I think for me, when I look at every area, is because I remember the why. You know, it's like
I guess that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I endure because I knew when we got together, when we got married, that we knew this what God said.
Right.
That could turn. I didn't know we would turn to where we are now, but we knew in our heart that it's bigger than this.
Yeah.
Pastoring, God say, like everything started with a seed.
What? Come on here, sir.
Everything started with a seed. And everybody want to start with a tree. No, forget that.
Come here, Jesus.
Everybody want to start with a tree full of fruit.
Right.
But don't
full of fruit.
Everything we had started with a seed.
It started with think about it. Like when we first got married, we had nothing. We had a bed. And we had the car that was
you had a bed.
Look, check this out, Devin.
You had a bed.
I did. I had a bed. I had a bed. You had a car. And he brought the car. And the car, like I'm driving in the car. And when I'm driving down the road, as soon as I get to the stop sign, I know when I'm finna drive off. I don't care. When I'm finna drive off, Brother Devin, it's gonna be smoke behind me. No matter what, we started with nothing. Together.
And that's
and I think that's important is that even it's like learning we learn how to turn nothing into something.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've been learning how to turn nothing into something. But we started out, it was the nothing that I appreciate over the something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But no, everything that we did. And so I want you to write this down if you're watching, if you take note on this here. I talk about, ironically, we're recording this on Sunday, and I just preached a sermon today titled about conviction. And I talked about how, whenever people do things, and it's like you tempt to do something, you responding from an outside influence, and it becomes an inside desire, and so you end up doing it because you saw everybody else doing it.
Yeah,
and you can't live in that long because you did it for all the wrong reasons. You did it because I got married to him because he was cute. I bought the house because
or for a social media post.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how many times we didn't have people sit in the room with us and talk about getting married, and they're so ready to post that picture, and that part is so not important. It's beyond the picture.
Get a ring you can't afford just so you can post it.
You know what? I'm so glad we didn't get married during that time when people was taking pictures and all that. Because never mind, that don't matter. But I'm just saying. But I believe in endurance. Endurance is so key. And I think even when we did have something, it's still learning to endure. Even in the now.
And everything we started with started small.
Yeah.
Nothing started out big. I mean, one thing me and my wife, we always knew that everything we had to work for.
That part.
We
taught our babies that.
Yeah.
You got to work for whatever you have. And if you're not working, that's a problem.
Yep. What Grandma say, if anything worth having, worth working for.
Yeah, like waiting for one of them, whatever. Yeah. One of them.
But listen, so if we know for a fact that whatever happens externally and we do it internally, that's something we did that we was tempted.
Mm-hmm.
But if something started on the inside and we did it, that's something that was started, because God convinced us or convicted us to do it, whether it was us getting back together. Mm-hmm. I never thought in a million years we would have got back together.
Never.
I was done. I left Cold Spring. I was done. Listen, I want to always stop and bring you back to the point of the purpose of this conversation is that endurance. If you're gonna see anything evolve, Rome wasn't built overnight. It actually happened over a long period of time. You got to actually have a vision and believe it can convert. But you got to believe in like my wife said, you got to know your why. Can I explain it before I go further? Explain it, know your why, because it's really, really important.
I think until you know your why is what keeps you there. I never forget when we got back together, when me and you got back together, it was like, I thought I was marrying the dude from high school. You thought you was marrying the girl from high school, and we were two totally different people. Yeah. And in the midst of that, there was so much hurt on my end. You know what I'm saying? And let's go back even further, right? When we broke up and we stopped dating, was that I thought you had a baby by another girl. I cut all my hair off. I moved to Houston, and I was just broken because this dude got a baby by a whole nother girl that we were supposed to have a baby together.
No, we weren't together.
We weren't together. No, please make that clear because I'm not that chick. We were broken up, and I found out that you were talking to someone.
But she's my best friend.
Yeah.
And we both knew we were supposed to be together.
Yeah.
But one thing about she was a virgin, and
He just put out my business.
she wasn't giving me none. So if I wanted somebody to break up with you,
And
go
he
get
would go
some.
get them from them other thoughts.
Don't
I
call
don't
them
care.
that.
They don't care. He would go, okay, y'all not no thoughts. Never mind if you're watching this. But probably back in okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying. But we end up breaking up. It was like everything that we did was such a hard hit
Yeah.
that when we got back together and it was enough, you would think that one hit, right, Brother Devin? You would think, okay, one hit, okay, you're gonna learn another hit, you're gonna learn. We kept getting hits
Yeah.
after hits. So we get together and we're thinking we're marrying the people in high school, and we find out that you've been through some stuff, I've been through some stuff, and bringing that into the marriage made it hard.
But God, we knew. You say you talking about your wife. We knew God led us to each other.
We did.
Yeah.
Not when I said yes, I knew my why because I knew the potential of who you could be.
Yeah.
I believe you knew the potential of which was our why where we stayed together. So for me, when it, I know I got all around the subject,
but I want to
yeah.
make sure I come back to. And so if you don't know your why, be honest with yourself, right? Why did you get married? Be honest with yourself. If it was because you married him because you didn't want to lose him, well, no, you're probably gonna lose him.
Mm.
If you had babies because you don't want to be lonely, know that you got pregnant because you want to be lonely, but it wasn't because God told you to. But if you got with him because you said God said it's your husband,
Yeah.
then why are you leaving just because he cheated?
Wait now.
I'm being real because endurance. I actually had an emotional affair on you.
Right.
Now, if she got with me just because I was cute, I wouldn't be cute no more.
Why he had to say cute? Go ahead though.
Because I'm cute. But if she got me just because I was cute,
yeah,
that wasn't good enough reason to
and
go
I
me.
want to say this. I want to go back to why, because my why for marriage was that I asked God, if this man is for me, I need you to reveal to me and I need you to show me. And I had a dream of a marriage, but I didn't see the face. Then you called me and you had a dream of me. You hadn't seen me in years.
Probably 2 years, and I had a dream of the hair was covering your eye. And then you sent me a care package. I was in the military, and there was a picture in there, and it was the exact vision I had of you. And I'm like, dang, God. And not just that, I knew God was shifting me to be with you. I'll never forget, Devin. I don't know if I ever told you a story. So he called me truck in the military. I was big old, I was muscular. I was swole.
He makes me so
I was cute
sick.
and muscle bound.
Oh my God, today.
All the women wanted me.
Oh, I can't stand it.
But long story short,
baby, I was cutting up pictures and blocking numbers, got on my dang on nerves.
So when we got together, I was in a place in my life. I'm like, man, I had been with some girls, right? I was looking for, I was in school. I knew I probably been married. I was not the type of guy that wanted to run the streets, even though, I joke about that, but I always knew I was a one woman man. And so I left her. Well, she left me, as long that's the other podcast. But when we wasn't together, I was seeking for my wife. I wasn't seeking for, no bed friend. I was seeking my wife. And I got to the point I got my heart broken like multiple times. I'm sitting in my room this day in the barracks in Chicago. And I just tried to call her like maybe 3 months ahead of time. I'll try to call her and check and see how she was doing. I gave her mama my number. When I gave her mama my number, I'm sitting in the room with my homeboy, and like 3 months later, and I say, man, his name was Earl. No, yeah, Earl. I said, out of all the girls I've been with, it's one girl I should have stayed with. He said, oh man, yeah, what's her name? I said, Tonya. It wasn't 3 seconds later, my phone rang. And it was her. At that moment, she came across the number and decided to call me. And that was the day we rekindled, we got back together. But I knew in my heart why I got with you, because I needed to settle. I needed to get back on track. I was off track. You represented to me foundation. You represented to me consistency. So watch this here. Now she knew when she got with me, I represented. What did I represent to you? Getting back to
you represented protection. You represented foundation. You represented provision, even for me, because it was after 3 days. My situation, 3 days. Devin, I'm in the house and I'm seeking God. I'm trying to get my life right. I had just stopped smoking weed a little bit. And I told the Lord that I was going to stop, and I started working. Let me stop playing. I started working on myself. But in the midst of working on myself, 3 days, I lost my job. I got fired. I had no money. I had nothing. My phone was off. It wasn't even working. I never forget it. And back then, we didn't have cell phones, so you had to have a little plug-in phone. So while we had a plug-in phone, the phone is not working. I didn't unplugged it, plugged it back in, but I hadn't paid the bill because I didn't have the money. But on that third day, My grandmother called me and said, hey, there's a check here for you. It was $50. It felt like $500. But then you call right after that. I'm
Yep.
sorry. You call right after that. In them 3 days, I was seeking God. Like, I really need to find me. I thought I didn't want to kill myself, but I was tired.
Yeah.
I was so tired. I was clubbing every day, partying all night. And I remember being in that room. And when you called me and you was like, hey, is there anything you need? And I was about to get kicked out of my apartment. And when you called and said, there's anything, and I said, man, I hate to ask you this. It was the most, I was very, very prideful in that time. And when you asked me and I was like, I need help with my rent. And he was like, no problem, I got you.
And crazy thing is,
I'm going to send it to you. I'm not done with my why.
I'm sorry, finish your why, baby.
My why was, I'm like, God, I felt like that was the answer to my call. And I felt safe.
Wow.
I felt there was nobody else I had been safe with. I had, been raped by somebody by that time. Life had happened. By that time, I had lived a rough life for 2 years. Wow. And so when you called me, I felt so safe. And I knew, I'm like, I don't know how this going to work out. I think we're going to be together. I'm not for sure. But God, if this for you, you're going to have to reveal it.
Yeah.
And that journey for me, every time we got into it in our marriage, I remembered that day. That you were my safe place. And I'll never forget that. That's why I don't mind rocking out with you. And I've seen the change in you. And I've seen you grow. I would do life with you. And I mean that. Like from the bottom of my heart.
The crazy thing is,
got me crying on this freaking crap.
When I think back on that moment, you think a normal guy would have thought to himself like, oh, this girl, she trying to get my money. But I didn't see that. I didn't see you as me giving that to you as me helping you out. I feel like that, you know what? It was always my road dog.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was the least I could do. That was like my I was given to someone who was near to my family, my loved one. So I never at one point thought there was a chance that I was being taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
But so you getting with me felt like that it was God's answer to your prayers.
Yeah, because I think like the next day I got a call for work for a job that it was like because everything started. Like I had seen struggle for so long. When we started talking, it felt right. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those like, and I would never forget that when we was fighting in Greenspoint, we was together, that we had kids by this time. I wanted to leave. Yeah. And when the cheating thing happened, I wanted to walk out.
Corrected. It was not cheating.
Emotional cheating to me. No, put the thing on me. Emotional cheating is worse to me.
It was worse
than sexual cheating.
But I gotta make sure
he cheated,
y'all know
emotionally.
I didn't physically have intercourse with nobody. But it was worse.
25 years of marriage, neither one of us have had intercourse with anybody on outside of each other. And I bless God for that.
Yeah, I really do.
I bless God for that. But that emotional cheating, that day, I wanted to leave, but I remember that feeling that I had.
We're gonna do a show on, emotional, on our, emotional infidelity.
Because I was finna get him back. Brother Devin, I was finna get him back.
But she gotta admit though, she pushed me to emotionally cheat on her.
Now wait a minute.
Take your business, your purpose, and your mindset to the next level. It's time to rise with the Butterfly Academy program at the 2026 BAM Next Level Success Program. At BAM, we don't just talk about success, we build it. Through proven strategies, mentorship, and a community of powerful, purpose-driven achievers, we help you unlock your potential and turn your vision into reality. Whether you're an entrepreneur, leader, or go-getter ready for growth, this is your moment. Join the movement. Level up your business. Level up in your nonprofit. Level up in your purpose ministry. Step into your next chapter of success. BAM Next Level Success. Because your breakthrough starts now.
I gotta admit though, she pushed me to emotionally cheat on her.
Now wait a minute now. You ain't finna do that. The devil. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. Keep going down to the day.
But listen, I want to say this because of the fact that I knew God sent her to me. Even though I paid her bill, she gave me peace. So she gave me back stability. I knew God said this one was mine. God showed me in a dream that she was mine. God showed her in a dream. Now watch this here. If we would have got together just because of the fact that we was cute or, it was a good Instagram post, when all hell hit, it wouldn't have been nothing to hold us together.
Right.
So when I go back to the definition of endurance, watch this here. It says the ability to withstand hardship the reason why I was able to take hardship and you was able to take hardship, the stress, the pain, the prolonged period. We was listen, y'all. This will make me mad.
What? Okay.
We have had financial success for 3 years. We've been married for 25. Jokers decide to treat us like we think we this, but they don't realize we had 22 years of broke every week.
Or
So-
pay then let's not say broke, but check the check. No, we
We
broke.
were broke.
You right.
We was so broke. So people make you feel bad for. I want to not feel bad for. Thank God we finally got 3 years of breathing room.
Right.
So my point of saying is that if we would have got married for all the wrong reasons, we wouldn't have made 23 years of being broke together, 25 years of being sick together, 25 years of through sickness and health, through death do us part. We've lost people, we've lost things. We've had hell. I mean, I remember times I couldn't even buy my daughter medicine for her asthma.
I remember that.
So my point is this: is that we got to get this right. We've been pastors 25. We've been pastors 15 years. We've been associated with a nonprofit organization 15 years. We've been up under the same bishop for 21 years.
Yeah.
We've been with children. Kiana is 21, 23 years old. We have not done anything short term, nothing short term. And everything that we did, it started off with a seed and we had to grow it.
Yeah.
We had to wait
We
till
have
it
to put
grow.
in the work. I think that is important when it comes to marriage. I want to say this on marriage because I want to definitely talk about ministry and then talk about money as well.
Okay.
I know we're talking about all of it, but I want to say this to that person that's married. I get it. You could leave. I get it. If that person cheated, I always say 1 Corinthians 7, if they cheated and they abuse you, that's a reason to leave. But when you are just upset with them because they just got on your nerves, that's not a reason to leave. You got to be willing to have some endurance because you don't know what's going to happen in the end. I always say we grow together. And when I mean grow together is that I'm not the person he married 5 years. Shoot, I'm not the person last week.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We're constantly changing. And it was learning the endurance in the transitions. Yeah. And we've had to transition multiple times. Yeah. Scary moments. When you became a pastor was the most scariest moment of our marriage. When you became a bishop, that was a scary moment. When we start, everything that we've done has been a scary moment. So I will say this to anybody: have endurance enough to stay.
Yeah.
Don't quit every time. Don't walk away and you don't get a chance to learn that person and grow with that person. And if you do walk away, I know that God is a God, he can forgive and all that. But if you're going to really do these vows, I'm not talking about the ones you wrote down in your bedroom. Catch it. I'm talking about in sickness and in health, till death do us part, for richer or for poor, in the good and the bad, all of that. That part is so important. And when you learn to endure through that, you get a chance to learn that person. If I would have quit when you did emotionally cheat, I know for me, I was at that point of literally, I didn't know how to talk to you. I didn't know. We didn't communicate properly. And I was so busy nagging because I had kids. And it was like, you came home and it was finally have conversation with an adult. But I'm going to tell you how bad these kids be. Not bad, but how, horrible it is. But I think too, is just learning how to overcome that.
Yeah.
And how to stay with it. And you had to, and I'm going to say this to every person that cheat out there. Listen, if you cheated and if you chose to stay, leave that person alone about staying. But if you are the cheater, do everything you can to do to make that person feel safe again, because you've lost that trust. You've lost that somewhere and you gotta build it. My husband had to build that trust up again with me. He had to make me okay.
But as we do these podcasts, we're going to have to make sure we highlight these moments because I got another podcast we got to talk about how to overcome infidelity. It's so important. Even though we haven't had a lot of involvement in infidelity, I think it's something we got to talk about. Yeah. But I want to make sure I say this on the marriage piece too. Remember, you married their potential, not their perfection.
Are you tired of working for someone else's dream? Do you have an idea that you know can change the world? Here are 3 essential steps to starting your business with insights from the Lion's Den small business community. Step 1, discover your why. The most impactful businesses are born from a deep-seated passion, a personal pain point, or a mission to solve a real problem. Step 2, build a solid foundation. This is where you lay the groundwork for a business that's built to last. The Lion's Den community emphasizes the importance of understanding your numbers, having a clear vision, and focusing on a strategic approach. Step 3, connect, collaborate, and conquer. You don't have to walk this path alone. The final, powerful step is to connect with the right people, embrace collaboration, and leverage the incredible power of a supportive community. Want to learn more? Join the Lion's Den today.
Remember, you married their potential, not their perfection. I fell in
Wait,
love
sir, that's good. Say that again.
that you married their potential, not their perfection.
Yes.
I love my wife, but the truth be told, I married her because I knew that she was going to make me a better person. I knew who she could be. I watched her when I actually fell in love with my wife. When in school, I fell in love with her again when I met her the next time because she was in a house, being a roommate. She didn't have a car and she had a job. She was walking to work, catching taxis. They didn't have Ubers back then. Catching a taxi, catching her. I saw her grind. I saw her grit. I saw her lack of excuses. I saw her make it happen. Even though, because the truth be told, she didn't tell the story. The reason why she needed her rent money because somebody stole. I gave you the rent. Somebody stole it.
Somebody stole the money.
And so I saw this. I didn't see a weak woman. I didn't fall in love because I saw a weak woman. I saw a woman who potentially could be a soldier with the right partner. So now listen, if I got with her and I expected to be soldier overnight, I'm wrong.
Right.
If I got with her expecting to be a social media post, I'm wrong. I married her potential, not her perfection. And so when you married him because you saw he can make you a wife. You saw he can make you a mother. You saw he can pay your bills and provide for you without making you feel gritty or grimy. And so don't get mad when he ain't there yet. You the missing part of the equation. Help him get there.
That's
so
right.
if you letting another woman speak life into him, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You got to speak life into that man and encourage
Yeah,
him.
because baby, I showed up, Brother Devin. I showed up to the place where the woman was, Bishop and woman talking. I showed up with the kids in the strollers, in the bag. Walked up to them while they sitting there together. Hello, how y'all doing? And baby sister girl got up and walked away because we was finna rearrange that whole cafeteria.
I didn't realize we was even having an infidelity issue until after she brought it up. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I'm like, this your whole work wife, sir.
Yeah, she was.
The whole work wife. But my thing, I mean, I'm not telling nobody to do nothing crazy, but I'm just saying, and sometimes it may take just a tad bit, but he knew then you better leave this heifer alone before Tonya come up here and blow up this whole hospital. Oh, I just told the location, didn't I? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It was part of my story.
Yeah, it's a part of the story. So, but I would say this too, the part of endurance, because we had to endure in ministry.
We're gonna split it up in two different parts because I think ministry is another part of this.
Yeah.
And I think another part of this got to be money. So I think let's make this part one, marriage. But I think the key thing we had to endure in ministry, we had to endure and
marriage.
Part 2 and 3 coming on this topic. And so I hope you learned a lot from this one, because I think the more to this story is number one, anything worth having is worth working for.
Yeah. And marriage take work, and it's worth it.
I've never seen someone go by a apple tree with apples already on it.
True.
Now I've seen people get an apple sapling. It's a tree that has been started.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that, right? But I don't want to say God didn't give us an apple sapling anointing. God gave us an apple seed anointing. Everything we started with a seed.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that seed, and we had to put the work in to grow that seed in everything. And that's why I finally get to the point now where I realize in business, we talk about the business part, we didn't put so much work in, and everything we put the work in and we trusted God in, it lasted. So this got to last too.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think anything you put work in and you're willing to work it and you're willing to endure it and you're willing to pray and you're willing to allow God to be the foundation, it can last. Yep. So I tell any marriage out there, I don't care what you're going through. We're not marriage counselors. We are advisors, but we've been in this thing for a minute, 30 years plus. 30 years of being my boyfriend, 25 plus, probably 30 plus. But anyway, we've been together for a long time, and we can tell you the power of enduring. If we would have left each other, I'm telling you, what we would have left and the potential we would have left would have caused us so much pain. Yeah. So why not just stick in there and work with it?
Well, I enjoyed this podcast. And listen, for those who are going to hear the part 2, I don't want you to not listen to it because, we don't do ministry together. No. If you've ever worked in ministry together, if you ever had to grow up in church together, because husband, because when we deal with this, we're going to deal with the fact that I didn't go to church at first, and she did, and so ministry is not just working as pastors together. We had to endure in getting in church, getting in ministry. So we're gonna cover that next time.
Yeah, and I would even add in that with the ministry, it's just not within the 4 walls of the church. No. What is the ministry that you're doing? What is your life?
Yeah, because I didn't
characteristics.
I didn't support the whole social media thing that she started. I didn't support her. That's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, because I didn't support her journey. I didn't believe in, woman. You married me to support my dream in ministry.
Yeah, what you doing having a dream? My little social media, and then I be having him on there like it ain't nothing.
Yep. Now,
yeah.
So, well, that's our first
episode, husband. We got through it, Devin. Yes. Thank y'all for rocking out. Like, share, all of that, and come back for episode 2, the power of endurance on ministry.
Yeah.
Hey, Clyde and Tonya, Unscripted.
Yep. We're gonna get a slogan that we can go out on. We ain't got it there yet, but we will. But if nothing else, God bless you. We love you, and remember, I'm gonna steal this from what you call Antab. If you,
I don't even know what it is. Don't do it.
If you're not gonna have a good day, don't mess with nobody else.
No.
What we gonna go out on?
I don't know.
I got one.
Be breezy.
I got one.
Okay.
Be real. Be true. Don't be fake for nobody. Be you.
Okay. That.